We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
I have so much to talk about.
Oh, okay. Is this a plunger event or is this a
No. Well, first of all, before we break into it, let's apologize to the crowd
the
out there.
okay, hold on, I almost messed up. I was gonna say the murder of crows, but that doesn't make sense.
I heard. Hey, if we have an assistant, ask him what a group of cats is called.
Cats, CATS.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. I thought you meant the one in London.
No.
Alexa, what is a large number of cats called? Their pride.
Mm-mm.
A group of cats is called a clowder. This term comes from the old word clodder, meaning a clotted mass, describing how cats often gather together. Would you like to know what a group of dogs is called?
Sure, why not? Yes.
A group of dogs is called a pack. Did you know there are other
That's
fun
pretty
names
lame.
too, like a kennel or a litter for puppies?
Now
Okay,
we're
that's
done,
enough.
Alexa.
A clatter of cats, huh?
Clatter?
Oh shit! What happened? Something happened.
Uh-oh. Dave,
Uh-oh.
your face is gone white as a ghost. There you go.
Creative twist on it.
Hold on, she's correcting me. It's
just-
Clowder.
Clouder or something like that. Yeah,
What
don't worry
happened?
about it.
The
We
standard
can listen
term
to. We can
is
replay the episode and learn that lesson.
which can be flexible.
Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. We're in the middle of our
Shuts up.
podcast. Alexa, stop.
2 minutes in, and we've already detoured twice.
Okay, hold on. I don't want to do this again. I hit the screen with something. I don't know what happened. All right, I feel like we almost should start over, but this is how we roll,
No.
folks. Yeah, we
So
just get
what
on
I was
and
going
go.
to say is that
Yeah,
there are times that unbeknownst to our listeners, this is not our full-time gig, podcasting.
I hope not. Well,
And so
wish it was.
getting our schedules to align so that we could produce a show week after week is sometimes difficult. And last week Dave was feeling kind of crummy and he couldn't muscle through it. So we decided to push off to this week. So for all of you who were sitting around waiting for the show to drop, the audio version on Spotify, Spreaker, Podcast Addict, anything but Apple on Friday, we're sorry. And for the YouTube viewers on Sunday, we apologize as well. But we're trying to get back on track. This season 10 is taking its time to get through. We're on episode 7.
Yeah, I should tell my clients, life happens. Things come up and you can't really avoid it. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
And then I ended up having to, the next night we were planning to do it, I ended up having to make a extra run to the airport that night for our producer who forgot her noise canceling headphones at home before she could get on her flight. So I had to hustle back out to the airport to drop those off. So that's where we stood last week.
And it looks like my jaundice has not healed yet.
No, it's the hair. The hair really goes green on you.
Well, if you saw this lighting fixture I have, it's got a lampshade that looks the exact color that I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
why don't you change lamp? Although lampshade probably costs more than the lamp.
Well, I just need to get the light I've been talking about getting. Those ring lights. The only thing is
halo lights.
Yeah, they make a halo on your glasses. All right.
Anyhow. So I got a bathroom update, man.
Please.
I'm excited, actually. The work bathroom has added mats to below the urinal.
Oh, the ones that catch the splatter?
I guess. Now, that's always been my question. Why is it so wet under a men's urinal? I mean, sometimes there's an actual puddle down there.
It's for old guys like me that don't have that last surge.
Jeez. Stand a little closer. What are you, 5 feet
I just
away?
sit in the urinal. That's what I do now.
You just
turn around and sit in the urinal. Hey, Bob, how's it going?
I kid you not. I've had it as a something to discuss on this podcast for a couple of weeks now about why some men's rooms you go in, it is just awful below the men's urinals. It's ridiculous how wet it is under there.
Well, it must be genetic because my I can't get into too much of this, but my sixth graders have no ability to aim either. So go ahead.
But I mean, no matter how big the urinal is, there's always a puddle. I'm like, what is going on? That they're seriously that much.
They're not focused.
I guess so. They've installed mats at my office. It's makes it a little bit more less obvious.
Do they squish when you walk up on them?
It just kind of, it's ignorance is bliss, right? Now I don't see a puddle under the urinal, so it's
you
not
got footprints leaving the bathroom,
right?
Now
I'm gonna be looking for that now.
Why don't you get those little doggy mats? You ever seen those potty training mats?
Yes.
Believed in that.
Looks
stuff.
like a flat diaper.
Yeah.
So yes. But so anyhow, I was excited that was a new addition to the work bathroom. Additionally, though, I think we've talked about it to some degree. Well, all offices have those lights that react to motion.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I'll be on Friday because we're a hybrid office, but I go in 5 days a week. So Monday and Fridays, I'm one of a handful of people in the office, so it's very empty. But as I walk to like the coffee machine, just walk to the coffee, everybody's office lights turn on as I go down the hallway, right? Everywhere. It's ridiculous. But the light sensor in the men's bathroom, that thing needs an atomic bomb to go off in order for it to turn the lights back on. It is insane. You have to jump up and down and wave your arms, and the sensor is at the door. So
which makes sense for the poor guy in the stall.
Well, it does have a very long. I've maybe partaken for more than 5 minutes in there before, and the light does not go out. But the other day I walked in and it was dark, and I'm like, and of course you muttered, you stupid thing, and I'm waving my hands up the ceiling. So after like 30 seconds, I finally get the light to come on, and I see a guy's shoes on the stall. Like,
he's like, thanks, man.
He didn't say anything, and I'm thinking, oh Lord, how long?
He's asleep in there.
Well, that's what I thought. I'm like, well, first of all, you had to be in there a good 15, 20 to get the light to go off to begin with. So I sided with better judgment and didn't say anything. I was so tempted
Bob?
to go.
Hey, Bob, is that you?
Yep. You okay in there, buddy? You hand some roll of toilet paper under the wall.
Are those the new Johnson Murphys you're wearing?
Tom McCann's? How you doing? So anyhow, man. That's my two bathroom updates.
Back in the days of the furniture business, we had to go to the Merchandise Mart in Chicago, which is this 1 million square foot facility. It's just huge. And so every night you were out just getting loaded and entertaining staff, your clients, customers, and stuff.
Yeah.
So by the end of the show, I was, the next morning to get back to the showroom to work the showroom was a little rough duty. And you had to show up per your factory. They wanted to see you in the showroom. Of course, your clients would be coming through.
Yeah.
So I discovered where the bathrooms were, and I would be like, okay, I got to go hang out for about an hour to recover. So it was
like, can we put our booth next to the bathrooms next year? That's probably the best place to be. Come to think of it.
Well, I mean, the Merchandise Mart, if anyone's ever been there, it was just so. I mean, it was elbows and what's
yeah.
And they
but
had
it's
those
huge, right?
Oh,
it's like 4 floors, and
no, it's 1 million square feet. It's the largest square footage building of its type, I guess. The
I was say, because Orange County Civic Center in Orlando is quite huge. I mean, they used to drive the tour buses in there when I did concerts and stuff.
Yeah, I think this thing is like 18 stories tall, and
wow.
and it used to be where the people would bring their their cattle and their crops and stuff, and so you'd have these animal freight elevators that sometimes you can't get an elevator, so you ride up in these things with this kind of wooden door, and there's no walls to it, and it's like, this is weird.
But then they put you on a chain, and they chain you to the side. Come on, move along, Dave. Move along, Dave. They're pushing.
They air condition the place. There's a tour you can take, and they literally freeze a block of ice overnight, and then they blow air over it, and it goes into the duct system.
To this day,
it's wild.
You're so
No, I'm
full
not
of.
kidding. I'm not full of shit. I've taken the tour a bunch of times. The Kennedys owned it and then they sold it, I don't know, 15 years ago. Pretty cool.
I saw it on This Old House once. They were doing a house in Chicago and they toured what's called the Mercantile, or what's it called?
Merchandise Mart. Yeah.
Merchandise Mart. Maybe I'm thinking of something else then. Maybe I'm thinking of the Mercantile, but
Well, the Mercantile Exchange is there in Chicago. That
maybe
could have
that's
been.
what I'm thinking of. All
That's
right.
where they do the futures of, pork bellies and citrus and all that stuff.
You sit down and they give you a palm reading.
No, that's a different
Futures.
guy. Huh?
No? The futures?
Oh,
No?
futures.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay.
Eh.
Yeah, I'm looking a little thinner. You notice that?
Yeah. You've been putting some effort into that? Or are you just using a filter?
Can I talk about this?
Absolutely, because I have no idea what you're going to talk about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, when you're a big fella, it's the story of your life. You fight this weight battle for a long time, and I'm not like grotesquely obese. My doctor says I am, but
My doctor differs, but
I don't like that guy.
to
that
one
girl
man's
anyway.
opinion.
Yeah, as I'm smoking a cigar. No, I don't smoke. What are you talking about? Anyway, this summer I didn't coach football this past year, and so usually I kind of get in football shape, to be a coach and stand around because it's just painful. But then I went to California, of course, over the summer, and I didn't get the weight off, and so I think I just had this day of reckoning when school started, and I just said, "Look, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm too old, and I'm literally it's just not pain. It's not comfortable. I want to get the certain weight off." And so I started to analyze, and a couple programs ago, I was on this stuff called
Ozempic.
no,
Sorry, I didn't mean to interject.
no, it was what was that stuff called? Anyway,
No, I
it
threw
was
you off.
you had to buy their food and you have to eat it.
Oh, like what? Not Weight Watchers, but
No, it's right here. Hold on, it's on this thing. It's called Optavia, and it worked. If anyone out there has done Optavia, it
well, I think
really...
something does. There isn't one thing that works for everyone, but there is something for everyone.
Someone, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it did this thing where it puts you into a mild ketosis, and you eat their products. I really don't. It's amazing how it works. You don't do any exercise. It just you eat yourself.
Come on, there's no secret. You gotta exercise.
No, you don't. Yeah, I lost like 70 pounds doing it, and so
70.
Yeah, but then you got to come off of it, and then you go back to eating, and so that's unless you really figure it out, that's the constant.
This is not
struggle.
prescription or anything.
No, it's like a $400.
Well, that's the problem. If I'm even naming the right drug, Ozempic, that's a big problem. Once you're off Ozempic, it's like bing.
Well,
because you never, without diet and exercise, you never teach yourself how not to eat.
Well, that's the key. And so I'm a kind of a systematic approach guy, and so I said, okay, what's going on here? So I fixed myself, and everyone says the things you shouldn't eat, but I like the frosted mini wheats, the little...
Oh man, yeah.
Because they help you with some other, issues that you need to do at this age. They keep you kind of moving things.
Oh, yeah.
And then I like the honey oat Cheerios. And so all the doctors are going to be out there. Well, no wonder you're having problems. But I have this, the white china that, like, when we were single and living in apartments, it was real cheap. It was just bone white.
Yeah, sure. The generic.
I've got one bowl that I eat my cereal in. It's kind of
a mixing bowl, but it's a bowl.
It's 4 quarts, but anyway. So. It's kind of like, hey.
But it's only one bowl a morning.
That's one bowl now, I'm telling you. Anyway, so I pour in some of the little biscuits, they're called, the little sugar-coated biscuits. Because,
Did you ever eat one of the originals?
Yeah. You ever eat the big ones?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was the original. You poured hot
like a bale of hay.
Yes, it was all. I remember I begged my mom. I thought it was something. She's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." I would. I don't. What is it called? The original one, just toasted wheat, maybe.
My grandmother used to eat them, and you had to break them up like a sod biscuit.
Or you pour hot. What I think the other way was you poured hot water over it, and it broke it down in the bowl for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever the case, for those who don't know, look it up. The only thing you could do to make it bearable is to bury it in brown sugar or something
It was like
prior.
a bale of hay, you know. You had to,
Right. It was god
I
awful.
wonder if they still make those. I have to look into that. But anyway, so I pour in the little toasted mini wheat, whatever they are, and then I pour over the Cheerios, and it's a nice level to the top, and I hit it with the milk. And so I said, okay, I'm going to look at the suggested serving sizes. Well, the serving size on the biscuits are 21 biscuits, and the serving
The
size,
mini ones.
yeah, and the serving size on the toasted Cheerios is a cup. So I pour it in like I do usual. Don't put any milk on it, but then I break it all apart. I want to measure, each. What am I doing? So it turns out there's 42 biscuits in there, and there's 2 cups of Cheerios. So I mean, basically eating four breakfasts in this one bowl. Oh, and then I throw in
So it is a mixing bowl.
so and then I throw in a Jimmy Dean sausage, egg, cheese, and English muffin just for the
Just
round
to
it up.
top it.
Because
Just
I
to
got to get
round
my
off.
protein, right? So
Yeah, exactly.
so then I
So-
said, well, maybe the 5 breakfasts in the morning are a problem. So anyway,
So have you cut that out yet, or you're just simply
yeah,
on
no.
this?
So there's no more sandwich. I started with 20 biscuits a couple weeks ago. I'm down to 14 biscuits. Each week I'm taking 2 out. I'm gonna go all the way down to 10, and I'm still doing the cup of the Cheerios. So it's a cereal breakfast and a half. I'm not doing the sandwich anymore. I do an English muffin. I don't do the sandwich. And so breakfast is handled. I got that figured out. And then I take a protein bar and a chicken meat stick to lunch because I don't want to buy the school lunches, and it's just easy to do this. And then when we come home, we have a kind of a lean protein and a green vegetable on a normal serving size. And I don't miss anything. We go out on a weekend. I had we went to Culver's and had a fish sandwich. I try not to eat the fries, but I've lost 15 pounds.
Well,
in
good.
6 months.
Congratulations.
But when you're 600 pounds, those first 15 are pretty
They
easy.
go off pretty easy. Yeah, I too have realized I went to the doctor the other day and they read off my weight and I'm like, wow. I'm like, has that gone up since last time? And so she went back and looked at my thing and she's like da 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 da. And I said, oh, so I've been improving my score every time I come. She goes, oh yeah, you're improving your score, right? But so I've decided to lose 10 pounds myself, and so I've given up. So I was talking to my wife, and I said I'm going to give up. So I guess I don't know, comfort food or my go-to is a little bag, a 2-ounce bag of Famous Amos cookies at lunch every day at work. That's kind of my little treat, for feeding. I don't go out to lunch. I bring a yogurt. And I said I think I'm going to cut out those. She goes, why don't you cut out alcohol? I said, whoa, come on now. It's not get
was
crazy.
anyone going to cross that bridge?
Right. You really want to see me go cold turkey on Famous Amos and alcohol in the same week? It's a dangerous move, lady. So I just looked up they're called post shredded wheat big biscuit.
That's it.
Yep. And they're about $5 for a 15-ounce, which what's that? One biscuit?
One bale.
I don't know how many are in a box, but they're called big biscuits.
Do they say?
I
think they're like individually wrapped too, or something.
I don't remember. I'm trying to look it up. It's hard to browse and talk at the same time. I'm not that great at it. Now I'm looking very red in the picture as well.
Yeah, I think you would eat them and break them up, and then, like you said, you'd pour like a ton of sugar over the top of it to get it but it was like shards of glass, it was
yeah, it was all, I mean, it was just god awful. So needless to say, but I do like the frosted mini wheats, which is basically just covering a big biscuit with a
oh boy, here we go,
bunch of sugar. So pays off. So all right,
they make them in strawberry too, but I don't like that. I
have been compiling I don't know. Did you have something else for the moment?
No, that's kind of the dietary track.
So, I keep listing these hypotheticals, but this one isn't so much a hypothetical as it is. What are you eating?
Oh, my meat stick.
You could do that?
What was that guy's name? He was disgusting. All right,
Anyhow,
you kids in the back of the room.
that's a bad visual for our audio listeners.
Go ahead.
But so you're walking through the office or a public place. Well, yeah, the office. That's better. Or through school for your, which is the office.
Oh, wait a
Would
minute. What's the
you?
setup for this? What's this premise?
Well, you're walking through your professional establishment.
Okay.
Me,
All right.
the office, you, school.
All right.
And one of your coworkers, would you rather one of your coworkers tell you, "Hey, you got a booger hanging out of your nose,"
Hmm.
or that your fly is open?
Is it a male or a female?
It doesn't matter.
I'd rather have the fly open conversation.
Really? Most people, I've been teasing this, and most people say, "Oh, I'm more embarrassed about the fly being open." I'm like, why? What?
Well, I don't wear any underwear.
Oh, okay. Well, explain it. Let me write that down. I should make that a caveat to the question. You're at work and you're wearing underwear.
I
But
do.
why are we so embarrassed about your fly being open? It's not like
Eh.
it's not like everything's hanging out.
Well, I think it's the first sign, depending on how old you are. Like, so here's my
Well,
routine.
you'd be pestered as a kid at school.
About kids, you can get away with it. So when I get to my place of employment in the parking lot,
That was a pretty short meat stick.
eh, not how short it is, Woody. It's,
It's
what you do with it.
the tasted packs.
Anyway, all right, let's not get down that road. So I park in the parking lot in a very purposeful way so that my front of my car is facing away from the building. And then I've got a little kind of privacy when I open my door. So the car is shielding myself from traffic in the building. And I put my ice water on top of my car, and then the little bag that I carry stuff in my car seat, and immediately I check my fly to make sure that I'm buttoned and drawn up. Because I've done it before. I've walked across the parking lot and I'm like, oh, this is good. Then you gotta go through the whole put your cup down or whatever else is going on.
You just
And then
asked one of the kids.
Yeah, like, did I get it? You look like an idiot, so you don't want to do that.
But why is that so embarrassing? I'm the same way. That heaven forbid you zipper up your zipper in the parking lot, as you're walking across.
To your point, hopefully, all your undergarments are in place, but it's a private kind of location on your body. I don't know if I told you this, but I don't want to get too many details because the person's pretty famous now. But I was at an event one night.
I'm glad you wait to eat dinner until the podcast starts.
I know it's part of
that makes the most sense.
It's part of the What is that? ASMR.
ASMR, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm at this event. I think it was during my campaign, and we go to a small town, and we have to go to this building. We're in this meeting together, and this other person who I won't mention who it is. It's a female though, and she's at the front
Named
door
Peggy.
with me. At the front door with me, and we're waiting for the people to show up. It's at a bank, and it's a small town, and people are gathering around on the front porch of this place. And I turn around, and her blouse is open, and it's not just at the top, but the top button's buttoned, but the bottom two, it would be the essence of our fly, basically.
Right.
But you could see her undergarments in her chest, and so. So
you gave it a good 60 seconds and then what?
No, I'm like, no, I got close to her and said, I think you got the vote. I don't know. You don't have to do this.
So you went the joke angle.
Well, I started with, I said, hey, listen, I think your blouse has popped open. And then she was like, oh my God, thank you so much. And I said, for the record, I think you've got the vote. I don't know if that's necessary for you to do that. And she got a big kick out of it. And so she was very thankful, but I think she was equally embarrassed.
And her name was Nancy Pelosi.
That's right. Oh, thank you, David. Anyway, so, I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things that I don't want to say
no,
you don't want
so
to go
you
off
obviously
half-cocked.
you're of the front that you should say something to somebody. I
Yeah,
do
I
it, but I
want-
do it real quick. I would be like, "Hey man, flights down," and I'd walk away before you could even start
You
being
dive into the
embarrassed.
bushes.
Right? See ya. Because then you got to
Right.
ask you, "What are you looking at that for?" That's always the comeback, right?
Because you're afraid of staring too long. That's what it is. You're like, what are you looking at, buddy? Oh, I don't know. I think your fly's open. I'm out of here. No, I think as a dude, I would rather have. Or it doesn't matter if it's female, but if it's
Yeah,
another
whoever.
guy,
Yeah,
I would rather have a guy. It's a code, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
dude code to say, hey, listen, your fly's down.
right.
Um,
Now, would you understand it if I said XYZ?
I think I've heard that before.
That was big when up north. We used to say XYZ PDQ.
You've just said it in the context of this conversation. I think I know what it means. Obviously, it means
Oh.
check your fly.
Yeah, XYZ. Check your zipper.
Yeah, but I think I remember hearing about that when I was a kid.
So
I haven't heard
but I
that.
don't use that anymore because some people are like, "What?
Because you're not 6.
Are you doing the alphabet?" Yeah, I'm trying to be low,
I think-
keep it
I
on the
thi-
down low here.
I think you can be professional and not be weird and go up to a complete stranger on the street
hey, buddy,
and leer
come
at
over here.
first.
Come over here.
Yeah. No, I think it's a code that if especially if it's a coworker or something like that.
Yeah, I'm one to that's my.
I think the booger thing, you just let it go. I mean, if they're
You wouldn't
They'll-
tell someone they had a
no,
big old
I think
booger hanging out?
if you got a hanger, I think, they'll figure it
Come
out.
on, that's more visible than a fly open. You're
Oh,
awful.
I'd probably because
There is no
if
XYZ PDQ for a booger.
it was another dude, I'd probably say, hey, you need to,
Yeah, you
get a tissue. Or
do that
something.
move, right?
Yeah,
And he goes, "What are you selling, Coke?"
I don't know. That's never really come up in my
You
travels.
do,
and
you do
circles.
live in Florida, Dave.
The circles that I travel in, not a lot of
All
coke
right.
going on.
But
Anyway.
anyhow, all right. Well,
Oh, we
there you
stretched
go.
that bit. That was
Yeah.
40 minutes.
Let me X that one out.
That's going to have to
I
go
do.
into the
To be
naming.
honest with you, I do. I do have a. Oh, here's something. So, I mean, now you've been telling us you want to cover your stock portfolio. Are you prepared to do that?
Well,
Or I can break into something. I have so many things I have been writing down for months that I need to start checking them off.
I
So,
don't want to get too far in the weeds with it. I will tell you this. I don't have the rate of return. It is outperforming the S&P though. I'll tell you that right now.
is that a hard thing to do these days? I don't even know.
Well, I mean, it's the gold standard as far as whatever else you
Yeah.
can get from the market. So the strategy of the buy and hold, the first year that I was in it, I was horse trading. I was looking at stuff and turning it, and I picked up several $1,000s by doing that. And you had to kind of watch things and see how they were moving.
Wait, back up.
Yeah.
Don't be lying to people on the show. Several thousand. You put several thousand more in.
So the first year I did it,
I don't
I
think
made-
there was an S after the
I
thousand.
made $6,000 in horse trading.
This is all since we started the podcast account you opened.
Yeah, the account is $13,858.
And how much have you put in?
$62,000.
You had me for a second there, like six. What?
No, about $8,000.
All right. So that's fairly well, yeah. And over a course of how many years now? 3.
I started it when I was 60. So Friday, by the way.
Oh, happy
Birthday.
birthday, Dave! Now you've spoiled your surprise. I was going to call you up Friday and wish you happy birthday.
You can still do that.
My brother's the same day, right? And so last week I get a reminder. So
Wait a minute. Your brothers, we share the same birthday?
yeah,
You-
we've
you-
covered this a couple times on the show, but I
Oh,
forget.
you said we could repeat stuff.
Yeah, well, I forget every time until we say it. But so last
Chris,
week it
right?
pops
Hi,
up.
Chris.
Yeah, he's like Chris's birthday. So I'm like, oh crap. So it's like 8 a.m. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna and he's on the West Coast. I'm like, screw him. I'm gonna wake him up. Happy
5.
birthday because I'll forget. And so I said, get up, happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. And then he texts back later. He goes, next week. I'm like, oh, damn. I forgot I put a 7-day heads up on him in case for people that actually buy gifts for. I have time to buy a gift. I'm like, crap. Now I got to do it twice. So
you woke him up at 5 for nothing.
he's retired, so I'm assuming he's old, much older than me.
Yeah.
So
He needs
gets
to
up
be
there.
rewoken.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's been challenging. I'm buying whole guy historically, and so it kind of talked
Yeah, you
myself
are.
in. Well, it talked myself into this horse trading thing, and I was like, no, I'm gonna pick out the stocks that I. Anyway, things are happening. Things are starting to settle down in the marketplace. That the tariffs are settling in. The Trumpism stuff is kind of coming down. Although I did buy some uranium today. So
What?
yeah, so
Just don't search for Iran or anything on your browser.
it's a company out west, and they're one of these companies that they buy it and they mine it and they source it, whatever. It's called URG.
Uranium's everywhere, right? You do. It's
Yeah,
in your backyard.
It's kind of a weird thing. They have to do stuff to it to get it to where
They have to enrich it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know
make
what
it.
all that means, but
Yeah, don't.
they probably
I'm
have
not
like a
gonna try
cake
and-
sifter. The
Yeah,
yellow
that's all it
cakes.
takes. Yeah, you just get a few pieces of uranium together, and you're on your way.
It's like $67 a pound or something. It's not.
I have
or
no
ton.
idea. I've never. I didn't think there was any kind of public company to that kind of stuff. But that makes sense. There would be.
Well, so what's
company.
happening is the trend now, and Trump alluded to this. You have to watch the news to be able to do this, but Trump alluded to there's this mini nuclear plants, and so
Yes,
they're
they've
moving
been
away
talking
from
about those for years.
Yeah, well, they're going to start doing it now, and so they don't. Most of the people buy their uranium from Kazakhstan and Russia and those other places, so they're trying to say don't buy it from there. Well, United States is not a big uranium producer. Canada does a lot of it.
Well, they because of our culture and
Environmentals, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's a little play. It's starting to move. I'm in the money on that. So I bought 300 shares today, and I have 500. I'm trying to stay within 500 shares. Everything. I've got a couple plays. I got an energy company that's at 3,000 shares, and I think the problem with a lot of thousands is it's hard to unload it. When things.
If it's smaller, when you're in a smaller.
Yeah, so I'm trying to stay in the 500 to 1,000 shares at a time.
I'm always amazed as many companies. Have you ever tried to sell some shares that you couldn't find a buyer?
Well, I've had it delayed. So
Really?
what he's talking about, if people don't know this, the stock market is a marketplace of sellers and buyers, and they're real people. And if you have something that you're trying to sell or buy,
like on Facebook Marketplace,
and people don't want to move on it, then you could get stuck.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've always fascinated that you can always find it. It's so big, the market is, that there's always someone willing to take on that risk.
Well, the thing I wonder about is, you look at someone like Berkshire Hathaway. What's his
I just
name?
sold those, by the way.
What's his name?
Buffett.
You look at someone like Buffett. How does he move in and move out without people figuring it out? First of all, and how does he take down, thousands of shares? You think the moment he picks up the phone and says, "I'm going to buy 10,000 shares of something," everybody in the whole block is like, "Oh God, Buffett's doing something."
Well, whether it's Buffett or anybody else, I had when I did my MBA program, one of the guys who is kind of in your world, investing on his own. Yeah. And he always said, don't get because he used the insider trading information to, that they have to publish it every week. The Wall Street Journal publishes it every week. You have to disclose you're selling shares if you're a chairman or whatever, right? So they call it the insider trade. It's not insider trading like we know it. The crime. But the disclosure statements.
Yeah.
And he always said, he goes, the don't get too hung up on when they sell shares, because he goes, they might be buying a house, they might be buying a boat, a yacht. He goes,
Oh,
you
you're
be
saying like
careful.
the chief financial officer or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. Don't get too caught up in it. He goes, be pay more attention to when they buy, because
correct.
that means
They believe in
they
it.
know it's undervalued.
Yeah.
And so he goes, you can't read too much into the selling, because it's too hard. But to your point, unfortunately, there are people who get that information. They find out. Yeah, I'm absolutely sure when Buffett's ready to move some shares at a few individual, they try to keep it as quiet as possible. But he has to get ready to report stuff, and to there's paperwork to do and everything at
Yeah.
his stature. That word can and probably does occasionally get out, but that is insider trading,
Well,
right?
once it's filed, then it's public, right? And so then he
I don't
could.
know how fast the public finds out. That's the question,
Well,
right?
so and you aren't not to dwell too much here, but to your point about those reports, those were published in the trades before the internet. So you had to go to
Right.
Investors Business Daily or the Wall Street
The
Journal.
Journal, and Wall Street Journal only does it once a week, I believe.
Yeah, so you
So,
could be late finding out about
mhm,
this stuff, but as long as it's published, they don't care. But now
right.
it's instantaneous. It's a Form 4, I think it is,
Yeah, it would have
whatever
been.
it is. They have to disclose that, they even disclose, like, let's say you may have been a part of this, I don't know, but let's say you're hired as an employee and you get stock options.
Yeah.
They have to disclose that they're giving away, 10,000 shares as an incentive to hire, Joe Blow.
Right.
So you'll get those every once in a while. I'm not too worried about those. But to your point about when the CFO or the CEO starts buying and selling shares, you can see it when they're selling. There's like, no, he's buying a house or he's
Or
buying a new
something. Yeah,
car or
kids are
something
going
like
to
that.
college or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and they need a few 100,000. Must be nice. But no, but that is one of the things that needs, and we do not have to get into it on here, but our elected officials need to get out of the stock market.
Yeah. Well, that drives me crazy. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you and I listen to that. You and I can agree on that.
Oh, I'm sure we can. It's awful what
Yeah,
they do.
I posted several times on now X that when I would hear these stories, and both of them do it, Republicans and,
Oh,
and
it
Democrats.
crossed. That's why I said our government officials. I didn't say anything about a party
Yeah,
affiliation,
and
because
and
even independents do it.
what they say is we can't help it because we're privy to this information just by happenstance as part of our job. But the reality is you can help it because you don't
Yeah,
have to act on it.
act on it. Right. Yeah.
So, me as a retired financial professional, I would lose my job, $250,000 fine, and go to jail.
Jail. Yeah.
Yeah, lose my
That's
license and the
the. I
whole
mean,
works.
even well, they always say that's why Martha Stewart ended up going to jail.
Oh yeah,
She was the downfall. She had to take the blow, so all the other people didn't have to. Yeah,
she
look,
took
we
the
are
blow.
prosecuting inside traders, but
Yeah,
the value wasn't nearly what they're pulling off in Congress these days. So,
yeah, it's
yeah,
criminal.
I don't know what the fix is. Maybe there's a government agency devoted to investing, and you put your money in there. If
Well,
you're so worried about you can't trade what your timing is on the market compared to others, then let another entity deal with that.
yeah, I don't know if I
I
believe
don't
in
know
that.
what it is, but
What do they call that? A ghost broker or something? I don't know what they call that.
something, but it's better than
Blind
you,
trust.
going, oh, I just heard, Microsoft's going to get, fined $5 billion in antitrust, or, an antitrust suit's coming against Microsoft.
Yeah,
Let me
short
drop
it.
short, sell all my Microsoft stock.
Yeah,
Oh, it just happened to be 5 minutes before the announcement, but
I think Pelosi did one of those deals. It's like Visa
they
was.
all do. They
No, I
all
know, but
do.
I'm just saying a Visa thing
Right.
came up. It's like, how would they know about that?
Yeah. Oh,
Anyway, we can agree on that.
yeah. I got another space fact for you. And
Okay.
this one takes some thought. I heard this the other day and I had to write it down. The planet Venus, so it's that second planet?
Is this going to be a Uranus joke?
No, that's way too far out there. Who's your
Plan-
Venus?
Who's your Venus?
Isn't that a song? Anyhow,
No, it's I know you're thinking though. Go ahead.
anyhow, the planet Venus rotates so slowly you'd be able to watch the sunset forever just by walking toward it. So you can walk faster or at the same pace that Venus rotates on its axis.
Would you ever get anywhere? I guess you.
Well, you would. You get all the way around. So you could walk around Venus if you had the time.
I bet Dingle Dart knows what the what would that be? Circumference or radius? Circumference.
Diameter,
Yeah,
circumference.
circumference.
If you could
is
cut straight through, it'd be the diameter.
yeah, that's the.
IR squared. I don't know.
Alexa, what is the circumference of Venus?
Venus's equatorial circumference is 23,630 miles.
Is it smaller than Earth?
I would assume so.
Yes, Venus's circumference is smaller than Earth's. Venus measures
You
23,630
told us
miles
already.
around
I
its
heard you the
equator,
first
while
time.
Earth's equatorial circumference is 24,900 miles.
Oh, it's so much smaller.
Hey,
Alexa.
Alexa, what's the distance between Jacksonville, Florida, and Charlotte, North Carolina?
I'm sorry, I can't look up real-time driving distances yet. Can I help with something else?
No, but you can quote useless information that none of us are going to, because I'm not going to Venus next week, but you can't figure out how far it is from Jacksonville to Charlotte?
As the crow
Jay,
flies.
You've got a point there.
Oh.
While I can't give you that Jacksonville-Charlotte distance, I can tell you Venus has a day longer than its year. Useful, right? What's your actual interest in the Jacksonville-Charlotte route?
The distance, how far apart we are.
I'm sorry, I can't look up real-time driving distances yet.
You can
just
sure
tell
repeat
us the
yourself.
distance as the crow flies?
The
I'm
straight
sorry,
line
Dave.
distance between Jacksonville, Florida, and Charlotte, North Carolina is about 341 miles.
Was that so difficult? That's all I was asking for.
Don't get in a conversation with her.
You're right. That wasn't difficult at all. I should have
Why?
given you that distance right away. 341 miles as the crow flies between Jacksonville and Charlotte.
You know,
You are forgiven. Thank you.
Alexa would make a good wife.
Thanks for the forgiveness. Have a great day.
All right. Well, we got there sooner or later. We had to go to Venus to get the damn answer, but we got it.
All right. Well, we're 3 minutes shy of a show, so I think unless you have anything else,
Some stellar shattering news.
yeah, in your orbit, I get that in your orbit.
Oh, I see I'm picking up what
Yeah.
you're laying down.
That's
Yeah.
very good. Yeah.
So I do want to, in case Danny's listening again, Danny Shepard lives in Charlotte's. I don't know. Okay, I've screwed up.
Charlottesville.
I think it is Charlottesville. No, I should have done a little better job.
It's
there.
good that you keep up with Danny. You and him are so
Well,
close.
we're very close
that
friends.
you've gone 3 weeks now and not gotten the city.
Well, you did tell me. I just don't remember stuff. Hold on.
Well, it doesn't help. I live in Charlotte. He's in Charlottesville.
Okay, yeah. So, by the way, I live in Charlottesville, but teach in a neighboring, somewhat rural county called Fluvanna.
Whoa.
Fluvanna, Fluvanna. That's interesting. So, Charlottesville, Virginia. So, Danny and I communicated briefly today. I will tell you this. I can say this. I think I've got a coworker. Let's just leave it at that. And
That narrows
today-
it down.
Yeah, across the hall from me, and she
Oh,
has
now
a-
it's really
yeah.
narrowed down.
she has a T-shirt on today. Okay, remember the whole discussion about trying to be professional?
Yeah.
And it says big bold, but it's pretty colors. It's a beautiful blue, kind of girly T-shirt with girly letters, and it says AC/DC, the band.
The band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So-
does he teach physics?
No, it's a girl and civics. So,
Oh.
and she's wearing jeans. They're whatever. And so I'm looking at her. I didn't say it. I went to my coworker next to me, the young man, and I said, I got to ask the question. Is your theme song Highway to Hell or I've Got Big Balls? I mean,
Nice.
I just didn't think it was very appropriate to wear to school.
Did you tell her fly was down though?
Not that.
Call back.
Hold on. Would that be acceptable to tell a woman her flies down? I mean, I
Wow.
did the blouse thing. I don't know. Would you feel comfortable about that?
That is a different. Well, let's let our listeners dwell on that
Yeah,
for the
weigh
next
in.
week.
Leave us a couple comments,
We'd like to know what's going on in your lives.
especially.
So.
I saw the comment on YouTube, by the way. That guy's radical. Yeah, great show. He said
Oh, yeah. Oh, that comment. Yeah.
he's always weighing in with
That Dave
frivolity.
Theus. That Dave
All right,
Theus
let's
guy.
wrap it up.
Yes, let's do
I
that.
think we did pretty good with a week off. So check us out on the audio version at Spreaker, Spotify, all those channels where you, if you're listening to us, you're already there. So I don't know how you
Yeah.
got there. And then let's go over to YouTube. Woody's convinced me. Let's smash the button. Let's go. And let's get some subscribers. I think we can have some fun with this.
Yeah. And
All
maybe
right.
we'll get the video up on Spotify.
Yeah, I do want to look into that. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but why not?
All right.
All right. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace out, and may God be with you and your children.
All right. Bye.
That just came to me. All right. I'll see you later.